Haven't we done this before? Alright, so a couple things to tackle. Obviously the title of the video, we are mainly going to be doing a couple live solves today on the CAD practice website. But real quick, we need to shout out Joko Engineering. That was a really fast response, man. Seriously. And I, watching your video, have learned a couple things that might have helped us on ours. So, really quick, we're going to take a look at the Crystal project and see if it can be improved. Basically, from Joko's video, I learned that instead of starting with a square, we can start with a diamond shape and avoid a bunch of the hassle that we went through to get our shape. So if we do this, for example, and then we show our planes and we make a new plane off of that one, that's 125. And this is just for show. We can add a point by intersection of that axis and that plane. And then we can loft that sketch to that point, and we can make sure it's ruled. Now we don't have to create a new plane here because it already exists, right? But also, we don't have to create an axis or a point there or anything. Watch. We can just sketch here and create a rectangle by 3 corners, right? And do it like that. If we use that as a reference figure, oh, I forgot to maintain association. And horizontal that with that, and horizontal that with that, which already exists. Set that same 4-degree angle that I did before. And then, coincident that and that. And then finally, all we need to do is decide how much room we want there. We'll do 6.5. And then we can do a cut through all, and then we can pattern that, right? We can do a circular pattern there of that extrusion along that axis, and there we go. And now we have that same base geometry that we started with last time, and everything else should be the same from there. So I think we could have saved ourselves a little bit of time there. And Joseph, thank you so much for a quick response. It was so entertaining watching you do it in FreeCAD. And I hope we can do this again sometime. That being said, I believe it is now time that we do some live solves of some Weekday Weekend Workshop models. So let's check it out, shall we? Which ones do not have submissions yet? Let's look and see here. Well, part 17 does have submissions, but the fastest time is 8 minutes and 43 seconds. Guys, you can do better than that. So let's do part 17, shall we? Alrighty. We are in millimeters and grams. Let's go ahead and start a new part. Let's go ahead and just start right on the XY plane. Let's hide our planes. Let's go ahead and do, let's see, how tall is this guy? Let's do... This is 62, and then let's okay, let's see if we can thin extrude this, right? So if we do 112, so 106, save us some time here. And then this is actually 94 minus 62. Then that gets us that whole thing. And then we thin extrude it that way. So let's do that. Let's thin extrude Okay, we're going the wrong way. So let's get 0 there. Let's get 6 there. Right? And then let's mid-plane this 86. There. There we go. So now we just need, let's go ahead and get the sketch going on this plane here. Let's use that, hide our planes, that, and that. Actually, not that. As sketch figures. Actually, we don't want to do that either. We want to reference figure that and reference figure that. Okay. And then, let's see, this is collinear with that. And I believe that is a constraint that I very rarely use here. But that does, in fact, constrain us fully. And there we go. So from there, we actually are good. Now, should we do the offset? Let's do the offset here. There's an equal constraint there that I did not necessarily want. Oh, it's parallel. Okay. So let's make sure that we dimension that to be 6, 6, 6 there. Okay, and then the same over here. Parallel those guys, and then 6, 6, 6. Okay, extrude mid-plane by, how thick is this bad boy? 8. Okay, we're looking pretty good here so far. Let's get some of our fillets going, huh? All of our fillets are radius of 12, and we got there. Oops. I got there, I got there, and I got there. And then our 12 on the outer ones as well. And then our 6 on the inner ones. Okay, 12 there. Okay, apply. And then our 6 on that, 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 and that. Okay. And then what are those inner ones there, shall we? 2, our 2. I was just about to say, did I make a mistake and not put that value? And I'm like, nah, I definitely put that value. Okay. We got everything except our holes. So, hole tool. I believe that's all that's left. Watch me eat my words here. I don't know how we're doing for time because I can't see the time. So, through all. Countersink is 12 down 2. 12. And then 6 is through. And then that and that. That. Okay. And then hole tool one more time. And then depth condition through all 12. That's the same tool, same thing. Okay, there and there. I do believe. Let's do that, and then that, and that. Okay. And let's see how we did here. 110.69. Yes, cool. Sweet. Country of origin, United States, weekday weekend, let's go. Cool. 5 minutes and 56 seconds. I could have done better, but, you know, first try, that ain't too bad. Cool. Let's see. What is next? See all leaderboards. We've got... Okay, let's do part 45, huh? It's a rather new one, and there's no times for it yet. So let's see what we can do here. All right. So... 58, and then we'll do an arch of 62, and that's vertical these bad boys, and then let's do a circle up here that is 16, vertical that, which already exists, sweet, and then this needs to be 62 millimeters away. And an arch from there that is radius of 16. Oh. Cool. And then we'll wait on this. We now need to do this part over here. We need a straight slot. No, we should just... let's do that around there. Radius of 20. Let's not use a straight slot yet, because it doesn't really help us yet. Okay. So... 46 there. Oh, 46 over 2. There we go. And then there is a 36 millimeter line there. And then a tangent arc. Okay, tangent there, 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 there. And then, all right. This is radius of 15. Cool. So there's that fully defined. And then we can do that, 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 and we can mirror all of it along that axis, that axis, and then there we go. Finally, we can add that finishing line. We might as well add those last circles, which are 14. Let's see, there we go. And finally, we can extrude this by 5. There we go. Now, let's finish this up. We can use that and that. Oh, use both of those as reference figures. And I can use the straight slot tool to get, let's see, 28. No? Oh, oops. 40. And then the straight slot tool again to get 4. These holes are not equal. There we go. I grabbed the equal constraint from that hole. Okay. There we go. And then I think if we extrude that another 6, I think that's our part finished. 72.69. Cool. Submit time. Cool. Correct. Our time was a little over 4 minutes. What other parts do we have? Part 16. Should I do that one? Part 16 looks like a good candidate to be done. The fastest time is 22 minutes. I think I can do better than that. Let's do part 16. All right, so this is in inches and grams. So I need to go in and actually change that. Units, inches and pounds, I'm sorry. Inches, pounds, apply. Okay. Now, let's get rectangle going there. 6.25 by 3.375 horizontal there. And then how thick is this? 0.25. Okay. And then let's go ahead and get that fillet going. It is a 1/2 inch fillet. Perfect. There. Good. Close the hole tool. Countersunk through all. The depth is 0.063 and 0.5 and then 0.25. Okay. Cool. Perfect. And then from there, we need that kind of square bit in the middle. So let us start a sketch here. And let's just use the rectangle from center and 3.375 and 3.375. Okay, horizontal. And then the height of the whole thing. So we need 1.25 for that. And then the inner dimension is 2.75 by 2.75. And then I can horizontal that. And then through all there. And then I need my braces. We can sketch on this plane here and use that and that as sketch figures. And then if I go like that, how far out do these braces go? 0.5. Like that. And then 0.5. Like that. Okay. And then mid-plane by 0.25. Okay. And we just need more fillets. I don't know how big of a fillet we need yet, but we will find that out after I tell it all the fillets. 0.25. I think that's it. 0.3047. No. I got it wrong. Oh, I forgot the extra side braces. Okay, that's fine. I need to make a new plane based off of that plane and offset it 1.75 over 2. Okay, and I need to sketch on it. Yeah, and I need to use that, and that, the sketch figure. And then how far out does it reach? I see. So, do the math here in a minute. So this dimension is 4.375 minus 3.375 over 2. Yeah. And then extrude it that way by 0.375. Okay. And then mirror it along that plane. Good. And then we'll mirror both of these along that plane. And now I think we're done. 0.3254. Cool. Submit time. Submit info. Cool. 5 minutes, 26 seconds. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, on my channel, every day is a weekend. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Check out the Discord and my website down below, weekdayweekend.net/workshop for more free CAD practice with no ads, no logins, no signups, no tracking, no anything like that. Just learn some CAD. I'll see you guys next time, next weekend. Bye.